evening, everyone. My name is Kate Farrar, and I serve as board president of the Women Under 40 Political Action Committee, one of the hosts for tonight's program. We really believe that one of the solutions to the question we asked tonight is to get more young women involved and supported in the political process. So I am so pleased to welcome you all this evening on behalf of WUF-PAC and our other hosts who are running Start, Feminist.com, and Political Parity.
I want to thank all of the esteemed leaders who are going to participate on this panel. Their inspiring and pioneering work is really what this book is about, and I am really excited to hear this conversation. Now is the time that the world faces a lot of serious problems right now, and as Robin Morgan said to me, we need all hands on deck.
Even though we have a long way to go, we have come really, really far. But there are still only 8 women in Congress with children younger than 10. And that tells you that it's really hard to get some women at the stage of life that they're at to be able to see a pathway. When I looked around at who was serving in the legislature at the time, and most of them were white men old enough to be my parent or my grandparent. And I knew that women who looked like me and my generation were significantly underrepresented. There were 0 women in their 20s. I shouldn't be ashamed of trying to balance work and family and do it successfully. It's something that is a source of pride for me, and we should have it very public so we can show other women it's possible.
As we get more women elected, I believe that there will be more of a collegial atmosphere. Not that we don't disagree strongly on the issues, but we go about it in a different way. I think that having more women participate in politics, especially here in Congress, adds to that collegial atmosphere.
I think the incredibly important dimension of this discussion around parenting is to shine a bright spotlight on the examples.
Men have done that. They rise from nothing, like Harry Truman, and they become president of the United States. We cannot let ourselves believe that the way in which women ought to rise is somehow from the thin layer you see before you.
We have no pipeline, and you can't actually start at the top of the spigot. Please, everybody, stop saying how wonderful it is to have a record number of women in Congress. It is nothing. If we want a woman president, we got to surge it all the way up. I believe if we ever want to get a woman president, we should make every woman in this country start running in high school. Because again, every woman thinking about their lives in terms of running is to be the president, as a little girl said, and take a daughter's word day of my own life.
I'll tell you a role model, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi didn't come to Congress until she was way middle age. All her children were grown. She had 5 children in 6 years. That's the greatest accomplishment I've ever heard. When she came here, she had to work herself up the ladder. She became Speaker of the House. This is a woman who came as a matron. So I want women to think about themselves in whatever stage of life they are. I want working class women to think about leadership roles. I want women who don't have college degrees to think about going back to college, and also think about the fact that they could do what Nancy Pelosi, who of course was a more privileged woman, but there was nothing about her life as a stay-at-home mom that said, you're going to be the first woman to be Speaker of the House. It takes a little bit of guts, but that's about all it takes.
Women have been more willing to compromise, more collegial.
Why isn't there more men in this room wondering what it's going to take to have that? Because it is critical to our future. This is not just a conversation about whether or not people who oppress people get a shot. This is about our future.
You've got to change the conversation. I think what we need to do, if we are going to have a woman president, is make sure we get out and use cultural vehicles.
So we say we don't raise boys to be men, we raise boys not to be women. And in that process, we're constantly telling boys what not to be, constantly telling boys to see their mothers as less than their fathers.
You've got to have that level of self-confidence. Some are born with it. they are few in number. Women have to get to practice leadership wherever they are. I love what you said about high school. Beginning when they are very young. And here is the burden that we put on those around them, to instill in them, even if you say, get out there, the urge to step up and meet the competition.